Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah. I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. And not just that, ladies and gentlemen, we got some news around the NFC West, and man, is it a doozy. What's up, everybody? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you could do me a huge favor on your way in, smack up that like button. Do it for the algorithm. What's up, Daniel? Appreciate you for being in the chat so early. We are going to have a fun conversation today because as we talked about earlier this morning, if you didn't join the morning podcast, we talked about the Arizona Cardinals potentially being better than most people anticipated, right? We understand that we've missed out on some opportunities in week one. We understand that we are licking our wounds and trying to find what exactly happened in week one. But now, obviously, since we're in Friday, 2 days away from week two, we got a lot of insane news that has big implications on what can potentially happen in the NFC West within obviously the division, right? So we're going to be diving into this breaking news that we just heard probably about 30 minutes to 45 minutes ago. We're going to be talking about it and obviously the implications around the West because, y'all, I'm telling you, man, that this can have some real big implications around the NFC West, and just kind of wanted to open up the conversation with you guys, how you guys feel about it. Do you think the Cardinals should take advantage of the situation that we're in? But it all kind of starts with, obviously, week two, right? It all starts with week two here of the Arizona Cardinals. We got to take care of business versus the Los Angeles Rams, which is coming to our house, right? They're coming to our home, and we got to take advantage of the situation that we're currently finding ourselves in. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the breaking news that we ended up seeing for the NFC West, right? Not so much for the Cardinals, but it does affect the Cardinals somewhere down the line. So we ended up getting this report, like I said, about an hour ago. Adam Schefter had obviously two different tweets. He ended up retweeting it, but basically this is the bottom one we want to focus on real quick, and then we'll talk about the potential IR because that's huge. It's huge. 49ers rolled out running back Christian McCaffrey for Sunday's game versus the Vikings due to his calf injury and Achilles tendons. So here we go. This is big, right? And then he retweeted, or I guess it's called repost now. That's probably what it's called now. But he says this, more. Kyle Shanahan told reporters that his team is now considering putting Christian McCaffrey on IR. Whoa! Okay, just real quick. Who plays fantasy football, ladies? And who plays fantasy football? And who got Christian McCaffrey with the first overall pick or the second overall pick or the third overall pick? Who got Christian McCaffrey? Let me know in the chat below, ladies and gentlemen, because man, oh man, you should have known when the whole Madden curse with him being on the cover. Y'all should have known because, man, I feel bad for those fantasy owners. I really do. But obviously, that's very minor. This is more having to do with a guy that needs to obviously get healthy for his team in the 49ers, but this is big news. It really is. This is absolutely huge news for the world of the NFC West because we're talking about arguably one of the best running backs in the NFC West, and maybe even in the entire league, right? If he does get placed on IR, that's massive. That's massive because let's take this out, right? Let's say, for example, he does get placed in IR, right? That's going to have to be a total of at least 4 weeks. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Who does the Arizona Cardinals play in week 5? Who does the Arizona Cardinals play in week 5? Yes, the 49ers. Now, Jordan Mason, he looks good. He looks good. Now, is that a direct correlation of the Jets just being the Jets and they absolutely fumbled the opportunity, potentially winning a game without Christian McCaffrey? We don't know, right? We're not going to know until we see week 2 versus the Vikings. I think the Vikings defense is actually pretty good. Their offense is a little suspect, but I mean, obviously we'll have to kind of wait and see how that game shakes out. But not having Christian McCaffrey is a big blow to the San Francisco 49ers. Now, it's so weird because like we just heard, I could have sworn we heard yesterday or maybe 2 days ago that Christian McCaffrey was actually pretty positive that he was going to play. I don't know if you heard the same thing, but there was positivity around the air from Christian McCaffrey that potentially he could play. Now, I do have another tweet here, or post, another post here from my guy Jesse from Last Second Sports. He does a fantastic job covering the San Francisco 49ers, which is his respected team. Obviously, my team is the Arizona Cardinals. Check out NFC West Roundtable every Tuesday, 6 p.m. on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. Just a quick plug. We go live every Tuesday, but he is the host. He is the guy that covers the San Francisco 49ers, and he actually said this. So Mike Garafolo came out and said that the percentage rate of players being placed on IR after teams say publicly it's under consideration is very high. So this is something to keep an eye on tomorrow when IR's decisions are made ahead of Sunday. Now, he reposted this and he said, heard his leg gave out at practice and he slipped yesterday. This is not a surprise and has been the right move from the beginning. So pretty much indicating that something happened, right? Yesterday, he probably slipped and re-aggravated his leg, and it's definitely not good news for Christian McCaffrey and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I'm not going to come out here and say that the San Francisco 49ers are done, right? No, that's foolish to say. The San Francisco 49ers are still a very good team. We've seen a small dosage of Jordan Mason, and I'm not going to lie to you. There was a lot of 49er fans waiting for his opportunity. And now Jordan Mason's got this opportunity, right? He showed up very well versus the Jets. He manhandled the Jets. He has done a very good job. I just want to see if you can do that back-to-back. I want to see that if you can do it 3 straight weeks in a row, right? Because this Kyle Shanahan offense, what they have in place, just offensively, is a very good team. With Christian McCaffrey or without Christian McCaffrey, right? Regardless, this is a big blow for the 49ers, but I do not think they are not playoff bound, right? I still do think they're a playoff team, but this is still a big news because if he is placed on IR, that means he's going to be missing 4 weeks. That puts him into week 5. So that's going to be week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 5. Cardinals play the 49ers on week 5. So it would give us a little bit of a sigh of relief because we're not playing Christian McCaffrey. That's the truth. But that team is still very good. So now this leads me to believe, or this brings me to my next point here, right? What are the implications here in the NFC West? Because to me, there is a lot of implications. There's a lot of implications, right? What's the impact on the NFC West? Let's take a look to see who the 49ers play. Now, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not sitting here and saying the 49ers are going to fall off and the Cardinals can take advantage and win the West. I'm not saying that, right? Because who they have on their remaining schedule right now, this week they got the Vikings, right? I think that's a winnable game for them. The Rams, they are as the 49ers feel about the Rams like the Rams feel about us when they see on the schedule. They see that as a win. I'm just going to leave it at that. So they got the Vikings, they got the Rams, they got the Patriots, and then they got the Cardinals. So they got 4 weeks of potential wins for their team without a Christian McCaffrey. Their schedule isn't crazy. It isn't rough. They got the Vikings, which they have Sam Darnold, right? I think he did decent in week 1, but he's Sam Darnold, right? So I think they're going to win that game. The Rams might give them a little bit of a fight, but the 49ers do have the Rams number. The Patriots are the Patriots. They do have a win against the Bengals, but like let's call it like it is. 49ers are probably going to demolish the Patriots. And then they got the Cardinals on week 5. So the implication is up there. Implication is definitely up there here for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, can they still go on a 4-game winning streak and then the Cardinals are, back-to-back? Yeah, of course. We can very well see this 49er team being 4-0 while we suit up in week 5 and hopefully try to see if we can bring down Goliath, right? Where David, they're Goliath. Because they're a Super Bowl team. This is something that the Arizona Cardinals need to take advantage of. Now, I think week 2 is a big factor. I think week 2 is a big indicator. Like, we got to figure out what happens in week 2, right? The Cardinals played the Buffalo Bills very, very tough. We've all said that. We all know that. And it's no surprise that now national media is looking at us saying, okay, this team might be pretty darn good, right? But the big question is, can we keep up with the Los Angeles Rams, a Rams team that's had our number for what seems to be years, right? Years and years and years and years. Can we take it back? That's the big question. Can the Arizona Cardinals take advantage of the opportunities that is given to them? And that is a Rams team that's wounded, right? Wounded with a lot of injuries on the line. They don't have Puka Nacua. Yes, they do have Cooper Kupp. That's the truth. Yes, they still have Kyron Williams. Yeah, that's the truth. But this is big news. It really is. We got my guy Andy here in the chat. Says, I drafted CMC 101. I'm sad. I had the first overall pick in one fantasy draft. And that was the big question for me. Should I draft Christian McCaffrey or should I go CeeDee Lamb? And in my mind, because I got mad and I said the Madden curse is real, I'm gonna avoid Christian McCaffrey like the plague. Got CeeDee Lamb, and I've never looked back once. I've never looked back once. Now, like I said, Jordan Mason is good. He's a very, very good running back. Very good running back. Now, here's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big breaking news right here, right? Christian McCaffrey being hurt is a big breaking news. Did you not hear that there was more news coming out of the NFC West? Did you not know that there was more news coming out of the NFC West? And that is that Kenneth Walker, which is the running back for the Seahawks, he was ruled out. So we are getting a doozy. It's a doozy here, ladies and gentlemen. There are running backs not available to play for their respective team. Because Kenneth Walker, which is the running back for the Seattle Seahawks, is ruled out or listed as doubtful. I'm sorry, not ruled out. He's listed as doubtful. Now, granted, the Seahawks play the Patriots, right? It's not one of those things where it's like, oh my God, this is a massive team. They need him. But that's a big weapon. That's a big weapon over there. And they don't have him, right? Here is the report here from Adam Schefter. He's not ruled out, but he's listed as doubtful. Seahawks are listing running back Kenneth Walker III as doubtful for Sunday's game against the Patriots due to his oblique injury. Oh, I want to win this game so bad versus the Rams. Oh, I want to win this game so bad versus the Rams. Rams are going through it. They don't have Puka Nacua. Seattle Seahawks don't have their number one running back in Kenneth Walker. And now we're hearing Christian McCaffrey for the 49ers could potentially be placed on IR. Those are big weapons, ladies and gentlemen. Big weapons for the NFC West. For the NFC West. This is massive. And that's why this game right here versus the Rams is such a big game. Like, I want to come out of week 2 saying we beat the Rams. We finally slayed Goliath. That's what I'm trying to come out of week 2 saying. I want to be 1-1. Obviously, we all want to be 1-1, right? We all want to be 1-1. We got to take down the Los Angeles Rams. That's one of the most important things here. But man, we can't ignore the elephant in the room. Massive injuries, massive throughout the West. The Cardinals right now, I get it. We've kind of been through the ringer ourselves. We lost BJ, we lost Darius, right? We've lost players. But not to the impact of this, right? Not to the impact of this. This is breaking, right? BJ Ojulari going down hurts Cardinal fans. Absolutely. But Christian McCaffrey not playing for a potential 4 weeks about potentially being placed on IR, that's massive. Kenneth Walker not playing against the Patriots, I already think that that's going to be a defensive game that the player or the team is going to win. It's going to have to run that ball. So now they have to depend on their second-year running back. What's his name? Charbonnet? Is that how you say his name? They have to depend on him for the run game. And, there could be some promise there. But I already feel like that's going to be a defensive slugfest over there. Geno Smith ain't much, right? Now, granted, yes, the Seahawks have a win and we don't have a win. But, man, what a chance to strike. What a chance to strike here, ladies and gentlemen. What a chance to strike. If you do not know, we do got some, obviously, crazy news coming out of the world of the NFC West and all surrounding Christian McCaffrey. He is listed as out for week 2, and the San Francisco 49ers are considering putting him on IR. Along with that, another running back from the Seattle Seahawks, Kenneth Walker III. If you have him on fantasy, I'm sorry, but he's listed as doubtful. Not out, but he's listed as doubtful. So, massive, massive news throughout the entirety of the NFC West. And of course, we know Puka Nacua went down, and their whole offensive line seems to be in shambles right now. It seems to be in shambles. Trash Boat up in here says, D-Rob's going to be back when we play the Niners. Oh, yes, he is. Oh, yes, he is. 6'5", 285, monster. Man, I hope he does. Right now, we don't know. We don't know if it's just going to be 4 weeks and he's back in week 5. We hope he is, right? Fingers crossed. Let's see what Jonathan Gannon says once we get closer to that. But man, this is massive news. This is massive news. Here we go. Let's go here. What's up, Tracy? Tracy says this. I'm not trying to sound conceited or overconfident, but I thought of the 49ers losing CMC for any length of time is losing one weapon and picking up any one of the 5 or 6 others. Let me read that back. Okay, so but the thought of the 49ers losing CMC for any length of time is like losing one weapon and picking up any one of the 5. Okay, that's fair. I agree with you. Right? I did say in the beginning of the stream that this news here, although it's big and impactful, I'm not saying that the 49ers are not. Right? I still think I'm not saying, they're no longer playing to play. No, this team is good without CMC. That's a fact. That's a fact. They are still a very, very good team without CMC. I want to be very, very clear. This opens up more for Debo. This opens up more for Kittle. This opens up more for Jordan Mason, right? That absolutely went crazy, and now everybody's picking him up on their fantasy football team, right? Opens up more for Ayuk, right? It opens up a lot for everybody. So you're right. Losing CMC, if he was on a different team, not the 49ers, it probably would be a bigger impact. But it's still a big weapon that usually has a touchdown or 2 every game. Usually. Not always, usually. It's still massive because he's listed as one of the best running backs in the entire NFL, or at least to me, right? To my opinion, he's one of the best running backs. But I do agree with you, right? Because he's down, it doesn't mean they're not going to be playoff bound. They're still a really good team. They're still a really good team, and I hate to admit it, but they are. Absolutely. So, yeah, fair point. Fair point. Richie says Niners usually have good depth at the running back position. And here's the thing, too. It almost kind of feels like whoever Kyle Shanahan has, he'll make good. Does anybody else feel that way? Doesn't that make you sick? Doesn't that make you sick? Because it's the truth. Like Jordan Mason, he hasn't just come out of nowhere. I want to be very clear. Jordan Mason just didn't pop up out of nowhere. 49ers fans have been talking about Jordan Mason for what seems like years, right? He's just now finally gotten his opportunity, and because CMC is probably going to find himself on the IR, you're going to see a good dosage of him. But 49ers fans have been talking about Jordan Mason for a hot second, it seems like. So it does. It makes me a little sick to my stomach, the fact that, yes, you can get a big weapon like him go down, and you're like, okay, I'm good. We got Jordan Mason, right? A little sick to my stomach, absolutely. But good team building does that to you, right? Good team building does that to you. But also, like we mentioned before, that doesn't negate the fact that the Seahawks are also going through it as well. Does anybody feel like the Seahawks are a great team this year? I want to be honest. Honestly, does anybody feel like the Seahawks are a great team this year? I want to be absolutely honest here. Let me know in the chat. How y'all feeling about the Seattle Seahawks? Now, granted, they're 1-0, right? We got to give some respect to where respect's due. They are 1-0, while the Cardinals are 0-1. How do you feel about the Seattle Seahawks? They're playing a very defensive-heavy team in the Patriots, but their running back, Kenneth Walker III, is listed as doubtful. What are your thoughts here on the Seattle Seahawks? We know that the 49ers can lose an arm and a leg, and they're still going to be a playoff team. That we know. What do you think of the Seattle Seahawks? Do you think this team can make noise? Deus in the chat says, "Sea chickens, meh." I feel the same way. I feel the same way. I don't think the Seattle Seahawks. They don't do nothing for me. They don't do nothing for me. Call me a hater. I don't believe in Geno. I really don't. I really don't. But this is crazy news. This is crazy news. Obviously, hoping not the best for Christian McCaffrey, right? Get healthy. But Cardinals need to take advantage, man. They got to win this game in week 2. They got to win this game in week 2. We cannot start the season off in 0-2. We cannot. We cannot start the season off in 0-2. And of course, obviously, Kenneth Walker listed as doubtful, and then Puka Nacua also on IR as well. So opportunities, y'all. Opportunities for the Cardinals to potentially make some sort of strike here in the West. We got Andy in the chat says, I don't know. Let's see here. Trash Boat says, Norb's MIA for a reason. No, Seahawks will be fighting for the bottom of the West. Love the confidence. I'd rather be prepared than regret. I think people are still talking here. Let's see here. Are people talking about the trade of let me see here. Dave says, can we get the Sea Chickens, the Lambs, and the 49ers on the cover of Madden every year? It's crazy because the Madden curse is real. It really is. The Madden curse is real. I had the first overall pick in one of my drafts, and I was like, I'm not gonna go Christian. Like I really feel like this is legit. Like the Madden curse is real. It really is. And now obviously missing week 2 and potentially on IR. It's unfortunate for him as a player. It's unfortunate for him as a player. Ranger, what's up, Ranger? Appreciate the super chat. Will you be at the game on Sunday? Go Cards. I'm honestly straight. I'm actually considering it. I'm really considering it. Strongly. Did you see that the ticket prices right now are very, very affordable? This is the best way to describe it. That the ticket prices right now are very, very affordable for Cardinals versus Rams. And I don't know if. Let me see. Do I have a? Let me see. Cardinals. Let's look it up. I guess the question is, are you going, Ranger? The thing is that for me, because I have a stream straight after the game, it's hard for me to sit and enjoy the whole game because I got obligations to Bleacher Report, right? I got obligations to obviously cover my team. So it's a little tough for me because I would probably have to leave like midway through the 4th. And I can't enjoy the game like that because obviously I got to be covering for Bleacher. So it's a little tough, but I'm not ruling it out yet. I'm not ruling it out yet. Rumor has it the Panthers tickets are going for $1.80. Sheesh. It's also unfortunate the millions fantasy players. Let's go Sunday. Give Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball. Absolutely. C-Max backup played good. They have a good offensive line. Facts. Ranger says, I'm going on Sunday. Would love to have that stadium filled with Cardinals fans. I would too. It's just, for me, it's tough. It's tough because, like I said, obligations to Bleacher Report like 5 minutes after the game. So it's like I have to leave, midway through the 4th and I can't enjoy. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So like, but I am strongly considering it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I am strongly. Let's keep it with the chat here. Let's see here. I'm seeing some people here in the chat talking about Buda Baker. So it's funny because people see somebody post something on X and Twitter and they think it's real. You got to read the whole tweet, ladies and gentlemen. The whole Buda Baker for Hassan Reddick, is that what you guys are talking about? It's a mock trade, ladies and gentlemen. It's like mock drafts. Remember mock drafts where we think we know who the Cardinals are going to play? It's all predictions. It's all who you think the Cardinals are going. It's not real. It's a mock trade for a reason. Buda Baker is not getting traded. He's not getting traded to the Jets. It's a mock trade. It's one of those things where you throw out there, you throw it on the wall and see if it sticks. I mean, it's fascinating. It's cool to be like, okay, that's cool. But if that's what you guys are talking about in the chat, like, don't believe everything you read online. Just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's real. If that's what you're talking about in the chat, because I see like something about Buda Baker, and that's really the big thing that people are talking about Buda Baker right now. It's a mock trade scenario that the Cardinals, and I believe it's from ESPN, that the Cardinals can trade to the Jets, Buda Baker, and the Cardinals get back Hassan, right? Reddick. And of course, what you would do for that piece that's missing with Buda is you would have Rabbit back there, right? With Adrian Taylor Demerson. Yo, it's a mock trade. Don't panic. Although this is the last year of Buda Baker under contract, I guess you could panic about that because as of right now, he's not under contract for the Arizona Cardinals. So if you want to panic, you panic about that. Let's see what the Cardinals do if they decide to pay him. If not, then he's going to test free agency, and then we don't worry about it, right? Because he's going to probably find himself on another team. We got Dario in the chat, says another mock is Kyler to the Dolphins. You're going to get that, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to get that. You're going to get it because it's intriguing. It's intriguing to think about it, right? Obviously, with everything that's currently going on, you're going to hear a lot of people saying things like that. The Tua Tagovailoa situation is wild. Like, it's unfortunate. It really is. And especially because he seems like an overall good dude. He seems like an overall good guy, and it's just very unfortunate. Like, I'm not sure if you guys saw that replay that happened on Thursday Night Football. The way he went down, I kid you not, my heart sank. Like I was like, man, poor guy. Like, I was gonna go live last night. Like, I had it all planned out. And I was like, the Bills are destroying the Dolphins. The Cardinals are gonna be better. But after I saw what I saw, I didn't feel like going live. I was like, dang, this is real. This is real life. This is outside sports, right? So yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is. Let's see what happens. But of course, if the season for the Cardinals goes sideways, you're gonna hear a lot of people potentially mock trading, potentially Kyler. You're going. It just comes with the territory. Do I think it's gonna happen? I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen anything from Monty Ossenfort. Right? We haven't seen anything from Monty Ossenfort that proves that he's going to do something like that. But at the end of the day, you never know, right? There's a lot of high praises. There's a lot of good talks about Adrian Taylor Demerson, which is the rookie 4th round pick for the Cardinals that can play safety, right? I mean, we did it. Didn't we do that to Tyrann Mathieu? Tyrann Mathieu ended up moving on. He's got a Super Bowl ring. Maybe they'll do the same thing to Buda. I don't know. Tua's unfortunate injury lost me my hopefully he's going to have a fast recovery. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, right, sometimes we think of, like, especially with the whole sports betting world, we got to be able to, and you did a great job, honestly. Like, sometimes people don't have a way to separate the two because they just think about themselves. But yeah, you're right. Hopefully a speedy recovery, because at the end of the day, like, that's kind of more important, right? It's a person's life at the end of the day. Some people say that Tua should retire. Yeah, I mean, concussions, man, it's no joke. It's no joke. It's no joke. I've seen plenty of mock trades, and you're going to continue to see plenty of mock trades, Tracy. That's just fact. You're going to continue to see a lot of mock trades. And that's why this week 2 is important. Because, like, can we beat the Lions? Maybe. Have we beat the Lions before? I mean, we probably have, but like the Lions are a good team. Like they got a 1-2 punch duo in David Montgomery and then Gibbs. They got a real good 1-2 punch duo. They got real good players in that team. Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got a lot of good players. Jameson Williams, good players. Jared Goff. So, like, this is why I'm telling you we need to take advantage of the situation. Beat the Rams at home. I'm not saying SoFi. We're not going to SoFi. We're playing at home. So take advantage of the situation that we're in, right? Take advantage of the situation. They are wounded. They are hurt. Take advantage of it. AJ says this upcoming QB class ain't it. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. It ain't it. But I mean, we also don't know either, right? This is barely week 1 of college football too. So like somebody's going to come up. Shedeur Sanders, right? Somebody's going to come up and potentially be that hype up guy for the first overall pick. Not saying the Cardinals are going to be put in that position. I think we're going to win games, but like you don't know. We need to beat the Rams. It all starts with the Rams. If we can beat the Rams, then get that first win under your belt. That's already 3. That's already 3 wins away, and we got more games for the rest of the season. Like we gotta win some games here. Rams and Lions have our numbers, like we have the Cowboys number. That's fair. That's fair. Mike, is Mike or is this sorry? Andy's asking. I do think this is a big year for Kyler. I do. Personally, I think this is a big year for Kyler Murray. Yeah. I just don't know what the plan is. I don't know how bad, like, I don't know. Things have to go real bad. Like, I mean, real south for the Cardinals to decide to move on, if that's what you're asking. I think this is a big year for him. All right, let's read a couple more chats, and then we're going to be closing up shop. Just if you guys do not know, there was some breaking news coming out of the world of the NFC West. Not Cardinals, but NFC West, all surrounding Christian McCaffrey being out for week 2 of the NFL season. But not just that, ladies and gentlemen. We also got word that he's a potential option for being placed on IR. So that's massive. That's massive. If he is placed on IR, that's 4 games being missed for the San Francisco 49ers. And on top of that, that 4th game is versus the Cardinals. So we could potentially be playing a 49ers team with no Christian McCaffrey. So this is going to be a very intriguing way to see how this plays out. So not just this, but we also got word about the Seahawks going through some injuries as well. Their running back in Kenneth Walker III is listed as doubtful. They're playing against the Patriots this weekend. And I think this is going to be a defensive slugfest. I really do. This might be a very low-scoring game. And Kenneth Walker is listed as doubtful. Not out, doubtful, with an oblique injury. So there's that. And then obviously Puka Nacua and the whole offensive line for the Rams. So like, we think we're going through it, like, right? We think we're going through it. Nah, everybody's going through it. Everybody's going through it, ladies and gentlemen. Not the Cardinals aren't the only ones going through. I promise you that. There's injuries happening and piling up throughout the entire NFL, and it seems like it's affecting the West here, like the NFC West, pretty recently. So we are going to have to obviously track to see what happens to Christian McCaffrey if he is placed on IR. That's massive news. And it's not coming from a point where I'm like, oh, haha. No, I'm never going to laugh at anybody's injury, right? That's not where this is coming from. It's just I need the Cardinals to fully understand that if the situation arises, you need to take advantage of the opportunities and what's provided in front of you. That's all this is coming from, right? I hope nothing but the best for Christian McCaffrey if he is placed on IR. Speedy recovery for him, and let's see what happens. But, you know, it's football, right? Injuries happen. Nobody was saying anything about the Cardinals, right? No, when Kyler went down, right? Multiple times, nobody. So it's kind of the same thing. You got to take advantage of the situations that's, provided to you. And in the West right now, there's a lot of injuries happening in the NFC West right now. And I feel like the Cardinals need to take advantage of the opportunities. All right. So we're going to be closing up shop here. I just wanted to have a real quick gathering amongst everybody. Thank you so very much for being here, by the way. We got over 60 people here on the YouTube side. Do me a huge favor, smack up that like button. Let's see if we can hit to 35 likes on the live stream. And another huge shout out here to the X/Twitter world right now. I'm telling you, YouTube, you guys got to show up, man, because X and /Twitter, they always seem to beat the numbers from the YouTube side. So YouTube, make sure you have your post notification bell on, ladies and gentlemen. Post notification bell on, and on top of that, make sure you subscribe. We are on the road to 15K, and I can't do it without you guys. So subscribe it up, smack the like button, do everything you possibly can, and yeah, we'll go from there. Adrian, great question here. Let's end it off with Adrian. Any news on Max? Yes. Last we heard from Jonathan Gannon is the fact that he is still going through the concussion protocol, but wait for it. We ended up seeing Tyler Drake. If you guys don't follow him on X or Twitter, highly recommend you follow him. There was a clip from Max Melton in practice. So for what that's worth, you did hear Jonathan Gannon saying protocol is still a thing, right? Still going through it, but we did see him in practice. So trending in the right direction. I don't exactly know if he's going to be available, but Xavier Weaver is available. Julian Okwara is already been moved up, and the way he described Julian Okwara, if you don't know him, former Detroit Lion, he says this: sets violent edges, he's extremely intelligent, and he can rush. That's what Jonathan Gannon said about Julian Okwara, which is a former Detroit Lion. If you're interested, we might see another potential pass rusher for the Arizona Cardinals heading into week 2, because we need it. We need it, ladies and gentlemen. We can use all the help we possibly can in the edge role. All right, y'all, we're going to be closing up shop. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As always, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Cardinals.